Hey, everyone. Listen, welcome to the building. We're here tonight for our recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It was crazy. It was crazy. And listen, I don't know where I put my original notes, but listen, I remember a lot. I have some stuff written down. That's right. Welcome to the building, everybody. That's right, great tribe. I hope y'all doing well tonight. Juanita, you ready? I could bring you up. Do you want your camera on or off? Okay, Juanita, I'm going to add you to the stream.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Good.
Listen. Hey, Brenda. Hey, everybody. Listen. So, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, OMG. OMG. I was just like, oh my God, I was in shock. My buddy Canelo is off today. We'll see him at the next review. But you know what? We start out. They're in the house, they're at Kyle's house. And you know what? Kyle, she shocked me a little bit, right? Because she's a hot mess. She was talking to Lisa Rinna, and Rinna kind of agreed with Kyle. I think they all agree with the fact that they did not like Erika saying that she didn't give a darn about the victims, but none of them really had the gall to really confront her and say that. Right. The only people that did was Garcelle and Crystal, but the rest of them all felt the same way. And Kyle, right? The rest of them all felt the same way, because you even see when they split off, even Diana said something to her like, come on, care about the victims at least. But she still was 10 toes down that she didn't give a darn about those victims. And she really feels like she just, I'm trying to get Erika, but you know what? At first I was liking her this season, but I went back to not liking her because she had the nerve to have those earrings in her ear. She's a hot mess. Yes. She's a hot mess. You had the nerve to have those earrings in your ear. But Kyle was talking to Rinna, and Rinna agreed with Kyle. Like, yeah, Rinna said, yeah, they're victims, right? And Rinna claims that she spoke to Kyle in the car, okay? That she spoke to Erika in the car. And she did speak to Erika, and she did address the whole victim situation. But again, she addressed it, and Erika told her pretty much, listen, I don't, this is not my circus right now. My husband's law firm did it, so this is not my problem, and I'm not backing down. Amaya, you saying she had to give them back? She needed to have to give them back. So Mel, you're in the building. What did you think about this whole talk with with Rinna and Kyle about Erika? And also, what do you think about Erika leaving Kyle's house like a thief in the night? She left that house like a thief in the night. And Kyle was pissed because she knew that Dorit had to have helped Erika pack up those bags to leave. She knew that Erika couldn't pack up that fast and leave out of there herself because she had too much stuff. What did you think about all of that? Mel, are you there?
Oh yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to somebody else.
So Love Me Right Jr. said, rightfully so, they are hers until the judge says give them up. Well, Love Me Right Jr., do you not think that even if something is yours, because your husband or your spouse or whoever gave it to you, but you know now that these earrings were gotten through ill gain, you still going to keep them? That karma is going to come back on you. But I appreciate your comment. Go ahead, Mel. What do you want to add to this conversation?
All right. So first off, hello everybody, and I'm happy we got a chance to do this review
Hey.
because you know what? This is the only place I listen. I love the Miss Diva channel and love these reviews. So for me, I think I want to add to the conversation the idea of blood diamonds. Blood diamonds. I remember
Mm-hmm.
on Oprah.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
I remember there was this sort of Mia Farrow and Naomi Campbell for years had this big old beef because they were talking about blood diamonds, who should have them, and why Mia Farrow thought that those kind of diamonds should be given back, and Naomi Campbell was have some issues, whatever. So there was some feud in between them. So for me personally, people do have feelings about blood diamonds, about where the diamonds come from, and have people die and have things happen terribly. So I think that the same thing in Africa, sometimes your jewelry, your gifts may come from pain and suffering. And I think the same way that happens when people, unfortunately have, issues with the mob or whatever, it's the same thing that happens when you do this kind of, alleged crimes that her ex-husband did. It's all corrupt, it's all messy. And the thing is, it's not just like he sort of cheated on his taxes. It wasn't a white collar a crime. It was,
Somebody, hold on, Mel. Someone has feedback. Can everybody mute
yeah,
until you're speaking to me?
yeah, we might all have to mute at one time so we can,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay, go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, I was just going to say basically, I think that there's a difference between white collar crime, IRS, paper crimes, and pain and suffering. If you're getting things based on somebody not meeting their medical bills, getting their creams for their burns, getting some compensation for the loved ones being gone, then yeah, you cannot even wear a hat a hat coming from that kind of money. I couldn't wear that kind of stuff. I wouldn't even take a book from somebody saying I got this from these people who I'm supposed to pay off. So it's just a feeling for me, and people do have ideas about this kind of situation.
I agree with you, Mel. And do you remember that Bernie Madoff story?
Yes,
They came and seized everything. And by the time it was all said and done, the wife, the kids, nobody had any money that was gained from that company
yeah,
because that was a horrific situation.
yeah.
Nettie, am I pronouncing your name correctly? You're in the building. What do you want to add to this conversation?
Erika thinks about nobody but Erika.
Mm.
She's told them that she does not care about the victims. So she has no shame wearing those earrings. Erika think the world, oh, everybody is not Tom. Everybody is not going to cater to Erika Jane. She bragging about the case been dismissed. And you got another one. Now what? If she shows some sympathy, maybe they would have some sympathy on her. They are real victims. They are not alleged victims. They
Mm-hmm.
won in court. Erika is a bully. She need a hood chick on there. That is sure she not hood. Erika want to be black. She need a real black girl. Garcelle does it in a class. Garcelle is never going to do that because that's not her. She
Mm-hmm.
need Nene. She need Portia. She need Toya from Married to Medicine. Even Dr. Heavenly would gather her up right quick. I would
Gather her
even
all
take
the way up.
Destiny out for love and marriage. She would give her some Detroit attitude. I would never wear those earrings. They wouldn't have had to ask me to give them up.
There
I
you
would have
go.
sold what I had. But she has no heart. When they deemed her the Ice Princess the first season she was on there, they were exactly right. And I'm so glad Crystal is finally trying to get a little backbone.
She's
If
trying to get a
Crystal,
little
Sutton, and
backbone.
Garcelle stick together, Erika wouldn't have a prayer.
But
Now
you
the
know what
rest
I
of them trying to
noticed?
come around.
Right. You know what I kind of noticed, those? The other girls back each other up. But when Garcelle speaks, or when Sutton speaks, or when Crystal speaks, they're not backing each other up. They let that person be out on the island by themselves. Nobody backed Crystal up. Crystal was speaking, and they didn't really come to her defense. But when Erika,
They're
you
never
see
gonna
how
do
all
that.
of them came to her defense? They really what's the name? Rinna and Dorit and Diana wanted to get Erika out of that house before she said something that she would have never been able to take back, that the audience would have heard, right?
Right.
So she said a lot that
And
rubbed us the wrong way. But if they would have let her keep talking, she really, really have sunk herself. So they saved her.
Well,
So
yeah.
Garcelle doesn't really pick up. Go ahead, Mel. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, because I had a little technical difficulty when I first
Yeah.
called. I'm ready now. So what I think too is, so the whole season, Garcelle has been in a class way asking the ladies, what is wrong with Erika? What is wrong with this woman? Is she drinking? Is something going? She's been asking some questions. They go, no, ain't nothing wrong with her. So the moment that Erika was about to break the fourth wall and spill the tea and give the truth, the real truth in front of the cameras and the producers, then you had her team take her out the house and put her in the car so that way she couldn't give up all the details of all the things that she was not supposed to say. You know, the lawyers don't want her to talk about. And also, I think that Dorit and Kyle, they were wrong, because some of the fact is they will give Sutton a hard time for not sitting down with Erika fighting for 3 hours, which I personally, I'm not fighting with nobody for 3 hours. I'm going to tell you what I feel in a couple of minutes. I'm gone. Either you understand or you don't. They push her to say it for 3 hours straight. But now with them, they back down real quick. You know, they said, well, my feelings with her, Erika, you left out my house. Now, I don't think Erika leaving the house, out of a house in the middle of the night is the first time she's ever done that, allegedly. You know, I'm sure many times she packed her bags in the spur of the moment to get out of, you know, whatever situation she was in, allegedly. So it became probably second nature to Erika to leave that fast in the middle of the night. But I think that, yeah, I think that they all back down. They want Sutton to do something that they don't want to do themselves, basically. They want Sutton to constantly be in Erika's face. And as soon as they get insulted by Erika, they back down.
They back all the way
they
down.
scared of
Toria,
Erika.
huh? Go ahead. What did you say?
They're afraid of Erika, but Erika was still talking in the car.
She was. She
And
was.
those lawyers are watching that show. That judge is watching that show. That's why they got her out of there. And they
Yeah,
told her to shut up in that car. And that camera hair up and went to another scene. They
yeah,
told them to cut them cameras.
yeah. I believe that 100%. Tori, are you in the building? What do you have to add to the conversation?
I agree with the young lady that just spoke and said that Erika needs a hood chick on her. I believe that wholeheartedly. I was clapping when she said it, but I had my microphone on mute. But Erika packing up in the middle of the night, I agree with Mel. She's done that before because she was throwing that stuff in there. And Dorit is a flip flopper. Oh my God. She flipped all the way. Dorit can just go on with herself because she was dead wrong. I could see her wanting to help her pack, but she didn't have to leave. She didn't have to leave with Erika. And she didn't have to stay, with Erika the next day and all that. That was a bunch of mess.
It was.
And her wearing them earrings was totally disrespectful. Through the course of my marriage, which is 37 years, going on 38, when it came to buying diamonds, we were always conscious about where they came from. When we would go into a jewelry store or whatever, there were several jewelry stores that couldn't tell us where their diamonds came from. The employees couldn't. I'm sure the owner of the store could have, but the employees couldn't. I don't want no blood diamonds. I'm sorry. They say diamonds is a girl's best friend. Yeah, diamonds are beautiful and all, but not off the backs of children that have been murdered for them diamonds. If they don't pick them, they chop their hands off. They chop their legs off. Erika is selfish. When this first came out, she should have went in her closet, since she got all these bags that she claimed to find when she left Tom in the middle of the night, supposedly. But she should have had like a little auction, a little sale or something, and said, okay, I don't know what my husband did. I wasn't aware of it, but as a human being, I'm going to sell these items, auction them off, and give this to the victims. And you know what? We all wouldn't have been talking about her this year. We would have loved Erika.
Mm-hmm.
we would have had some compassion for what she's going through. But that day, she wanted to celebrate the fact that they dropped that lawsuit. She knew immediately from her lawyers that it was refiled the same day in California. She knew.
You're breaking up, Toria, but
Oh,
I do hear and get a little bit of. I get what you're saying, but you
And
just
that,
started breaking up.
and I was
Go
go ahead.
ahead, Mel.
No, I was going to say, and I want to say loud and clear. Now, nobody in this panel we are saying that Miss Erica got blood diamonds. We're using as an analogy. It's all alleged, because
Right,
that's a,
right.
But I also want to say this. I'm using it as to say the term is that she seems to not be understanding that sometimes ethical reasons is good enough. You don't have to have a lawyer tell you what to do. So
Absolutely.
some people go, like Miss Tori is saying, go to a jewelry store and they go out there and say, oh, wait a minute, where these diamonds come from? Or is it associated with blood diamonds? They go, oh, no, that's not for me. But also, if in Erica's case, if it's coming from pain and suffering, that should also be not for you. And also, I want to say to Erica, you act like you're not a healthy, physically healthy woman who is on a national program. You're very blessed. And so, if you turn over all the stuff you've ever gotten from your husband, you will still be better than a lot of people in this country. So I can't sit
No,
around
absolutely.
and be
Absolutely.
crying
And
for.
when she glams herself up, let's be clear, I don't like her personality, but when
Yeah,
she glams herself up, she looks absolutely beautiful. She could get another mate. She can
amen.
recover from this.
A
But the
job.
reason why, in my opinion, she's probably not going to recover is because you still being just as nasty and disgusting. And even though you may not have known according to yourself, right? Now you know something.
Hmm.
And being that you know something and that it was a possibility that some of those items that you have got it because of stolen money, so to speak, why not just give it up?
Amen.
Things are things. You're holding on to these earrings. Like, it's crazy to me. Miss True Kelly, you're in the building. What do you want to add to this conversation?
I think one thing that Cal said to Erica was, and she said, a lawyer's never going to tell you not to show empathy. And
Yep.
that's something that Erica is not getting. That we just want a little bit of empathy. And it's something that Lovable Lisa said one time. She's like, oh, you just get those earrings from Walmart. And I'm like, yeah, oh my God, Erica, you could have just put those earrings in a box, hid them if you wanted to, not wear them, wear fake earrings or whatever like that. And people would have been like, oh, okay, these are fake earrings and not real earrings, something like that. And she just has no empathy. I think she has no empathy for anybody or anything, and that's her problem.
Diva, did you watch Andy after the show last night?
I did watch Andy after the show. I was kind of in and out because it was late, but I heard the reunion it was horrific to the point where they didn't even take a cast picture, and
Mm.
everybody kind of walked away and didn't even speak to each other.
Wow.
It's
Didn't
going to
hug
go
each other or
down.
nothing. But
Huh?
what I was so upset about and enraged, matter of fact, I just finished watching it again because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss nothing. But Erica still, all her behavior, Andy asked her everything that we wanted to know because I guess he got the questions from all the hate off the internet. But
Mhm.
she still don't think she did anything wrong or said anything wrong when she was in Colorado. She thinks everything she did was absolutely right. And that Michael Rappaport, he totally agreed with her. And I could have kicked him right off the television screen.
Well, he's spineless too, right? Because he flip flops, according to who's there, who's not there. If she wasn't there, he probably would have been talking about her like a dog.
That's right.
He's messy, and that's why I didn't even pay any attention to him. But wait, let me bring us back
Yep.
for 1 minute. So, two on one side it was Garcelle, Sutton, Crystal, Cherie, Kyle, Lisa, Rinna, and Kathy. Dorit, Diana, and Erika went shopping. Okay, they was in a whole another place. Erika said she was not going to Kimosabi because she's not going to hang with people that just don't get her and don't understand her. Erika was 10 toes down, all happy, because she felt like, oh, you see why I was fighting last night? This dismissed lawsuit, it proves that I was innocent. I think she's part delusional also. Okay, just my opinion. I'm just saying to myself, you can't be this tone deaf, Erika. Like, are you kidding me right now? Okay, so it was dismissed. but you're going to wear the earrings. All Erika cares about is the fact that she lost her expensive lifestyle. That's the bottom line. That's what I get for Erika. I lost my lifestyle. I lost my private jets. I lost my glam squad. I lost living like Diana lives. And that's what Erika is pissed about, right? And she also claims, which I highly doubt, I believe it when I see it, that she's not going to get back on the private jet with them. She'll rather fly commercial. That's a joke. I didn't believe that. Now, Kyle is hurt and she was pissed at Erika that she left the house in the middle of the night. She's pissed at Dorit because Dorit is siding with Erika. And Kyle had a whole tantrum, a meltdown. She was crying. And here's the hypocritical part about Kyle. How dare you cry and carry on like that? But every time Sutton had a tear or Sutton was emotional about something, she told Sutton, like, stop it. Kyle lost her stuff like a brat because stuff didn't go her way. Go ahead. Who was speaking? I'm sorry. Did somebody want to say something?
No, I think we were agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay. So they went to the hat store, right? They're at the hat store, and listen, these hats are $500 a hat. Like, whoa, okay, I get it that they're personalizing it with your name on it, but okay. So the hat store, this is where everything goes down with Kathy Hilton. Now, the production was a little messy, right? Production was messy in the sense that they showed all the times that Kathy, was promoting her tequila. And I get it. But on the show, don't all the ladies always promote everything?
Amen. So that's what I like that part. So you know what? When the producers show Kathy saying her tequila all the time, I need them to show the same power, with same energy for all the ladies with the lipstick, the stores. I need the same, because you know what? Kathy probably is at a level 1, and Lisa Rinna's probably at like a level 20 at that moment. So they all talk about their stuff all the time. So
we had 2 launch parties for Lisa Rinna's Rinna Beauty. Okay, we had 2. We saw Dorit's wedding line, her swim line. We saw Kyle in her stores. The list goes on and on. Mm-hmm. So why? But see, here's what I have with Garcelle, right? Kathy is always on Garcelle's side, and Garcelle shaded Kathy in the confessional. She said, "Okay, did I sign a contract to always drink this tequila?" And see, that's the thing I have with Garcelle. You talking about the one chick that is always on your side. Listen, if it was my friend, everywhere I would go, I'd be like, give me that tequila by my friend, okay? I would be helping my friend promote her drink. Kathy, though, she's a brat too. So we kind of know where Kyle gets it from. Because Kathy was pissed. That's right, toothless, not homeless, okay, for Dorit, okay? Mm-hmm. Kathy was a brat because she lost her stuff. Okay, she said, what did she say? She said something about I think she said that effing Rinna, in front of my face. Yeah. You're gonna order Kyle Jenner's tequila, and then she was pissed that Kyle did not stand by her side and help her. Go ahead.
I need to know. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say I need to know more about that store, because when Kyle was going off and having her emotions towards the end of the episode, she was saying, "Oh, I took a month out and planned this this store event. I had to rent out the store. It took a lot of time." I'm thinking, and let's read into it, that she and Kathy had an understanding that with this whole month of planning, that Kathy's liquor was going to be more pronounced there. I remember years ago on the Housewives, one of my favorite episodes of New York City, they also had issue. They said Ramona and Jill, they said, well, wait, we had an understanding that it was going to be Bethany's liquor here at the front. It's going to be all of us, So they have those sort of behind the scenes moments. So when she get there, and then you have Lisa Rinna going, well, let me get Kyle, let me get this other tequila. That wasn't a part of the script. So I think that she was looking to Kyle and say, wait a minute, get your friend. We already had an understanding about what we were going to do here. So I think that was what she was saying, but she didn't say it. And I hope that the reunion, she said, no, I'm talking to Cal. She told me it was going to be my liquor. We're going to talk about this. And, I think that Cal basically threw on the bus. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think Rinna,
Yeah,
Evelyn. I think Rinna. I'll let you speak. Give me a minute. I think Rinna did that on purpose. I
Mm-hmm.
think Rinna was
me
being
too.
shady. When she ordered that
Hmm.
18 tequila by her friend Kyle Jenner.
Right.
She did it on purpose and she knew it was gonna trigger Kathy because that's what Runner does. And Kathy is right
Absolutely.
in the sense that my own sister is gonna allow this to go down and not take up for me. But go ahead, Miss True Kelly. Was you gonna say something?
I was just gonna agree with you. I thought Lisa did that as a dig, and she was very
She did.
loud about it. Oh, my good friend, my good friend. I think she did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
She did, she for sure did on purpose. And but Kathy let it get to her. Cheryl, thank you so much for the super stick. I truly appreciate it. Kathy let it get to her because she lost her stuff to the point where she left and she was like, okay, I'm out of here. And she went back to Kyle's house and she was pissed the heck off. Okay. So then at that event, Kyle calls Dorit. Okay. And she's losing her stuff. She's like a high school person. She's pretty much telling Dorit, it's either Erika or me. And I do agree with this. You knew I made this plan. I rented out this space. I shut down the space just for us. And your ladies are not going to come here. Because sometimes when you agree to shut down a space like that, you also kind of agree to have a certain amount of sales. And I'm thinking, these are three ladies that could have possibly bought a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And now y'all not showing up. So I went through all of this trouble so we can have this nice experience and y'all not coming. And usually everyone else, even though they're fighting with somebody, they do show up to the event.
Cal said that.
I thought it was messy. Go ahead.
Cal did say, she said, listen, even if she show up nice, or at all these ladies events, she show up maybe not even coherent most of the time, allegedly. She do show up there and she's stirring the pot and doing whatever. She does show, she has showed up at everything this season. So I give her that point. She did they even when she was crying or having issues with people, she still showed up the next time. So Erika and the one who shall not be named and Dorit should have been, come on now, I'm not technically, should have been at that hat store when they were supposed to be. Because I don't think I don't think they even showed up, did they? Because I think they still got the pizza. And by the time they went home, we didn't even see the ladies go get their hats. I think that they all three just lost their hat, which was, the hats were cute.
Yeah, I don't think they showed up to the hat place. Kimosabi, I think is how you pronounce it. Yeah, I don't think they showed up to the hat place at all. And I did think that was wrong. But again, Kyle throwing her tantrum on the phone with Dorit was hilarious to me because she was very emotional and she really wanted Dorit to come there and be on her side versus Erika's, right? Erika was hitting for Diana to buy her the pink ski jacket. She was.
Hmm.
They're always
He
trying
was.
to get Diana to buy them something, which is just disgusting to me. It's like, I'm like, are y'all serious right now? Dorit following the money. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. She chose to stay with the shady girls cause she faked that robbery. All right. So yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was messy. So anybody else with that scene?
I think Kyle paid for all them hats, Steva. I think that's another reason why she was mad because Garcelle is not going to pay no $500 for a cowboy hat she probably will never wear again.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but see, I took it as, and it just could be editing. I took it as the only one that bought a hat was Sutton and Rinna. You see, Rinna tried on her hat at the house, and it had her name in it. You
Hmm.
And
saw
she
Sutton
thanked
had,
Kyle.
yeah.
And she
Oh,
thanked
she
Kyle for it.
did.
Yeah, she thanked Kyle.
Oh,
Remember, she said, "Oh, she was opening it and unboxing it, and all careful, pulling each tissue out and stuff, and was like, "Oh, it's got my name in it. Oh, you put Renna in it. That's cute."
oh, okay. I
And
missed
she was
that.
like, "Thank
Okay,
you, Kyle." Yep. So I think because
okay.
you notice the lady brought a whole stack of hats down when she sat them down on that chair.
I did. I
Yeah,
did.
I think Kyle arranged all that with the hats and everything. That's why she was so upset because she paid for all that stuff, and Dorit knew about it because remember her, Dorit, and Mauricio and PK, they've been spending a lot of time together since this
Mm-hmm.
big robbery,
Right.
and then Mauricio and PK were
Alleged
working on
fake
some.
robbery.
That's right. Alleged.
You
Mauricio and them were working on some kind of TV show, with selling houses and stuff. They were supposed to have been working on a show over in London to bring here, but I think that part fell through. But they were working on something else here.
Oh, okay. So Lisa, you know what? I kind of wanted to have low key too. I thought, you know what? Either way, I thought it was a very cute outing. And I do think that they were disrespectful for not showing up. You should show up to an event like the host went out of her way to have this private event for y'all. To me, yes, you should have showed up. Now, here's the thing. When we get back to the house, oh, what a scene back at this house, okay? We get back to the house, and when they get back to the house, this is when Kyle really, really, truly loses it. Okay. And, you know, she's speaking to Dorit, saying pretty much, you know, like, how could you do this to me? We are truly friends. I truly love you. And you are just siding with Erika, and you helped Erika pack her stuff up and leave the house, right? So Dorit's trying to explain and telling her, don't make me pick sides, to the point where Mauricio had to come and save the day. He spoke to both of them. And I mean, Kyle had tears, okay? She was truly, really crying, okay? So Mauricio speaks to both of them. They kind of hug it out. But in the meantime, Kathy got a little dig in there, right? Because she said, yeah, it doesn't feel good when your friends don't support you, right?
Yep.
I love that. I was like,
part.
yes, Kathy, go ahead. Yes, Kathy.
She came over, she was giving those zingers real quick. I said, wait a minute, did she eating these people up right now in the scene? She getting them real good. I said, oh, wait a minute. She said, don't feel good, do it? I said,
Yeah,
oh,
that whole
Miss Kathy, she was shady boots.
but
she was shady.
that
Yes,
whole scene, she was actually talking to Rinna and Cal at that moment when she was making those comments, because it was about that whole situation. Like, oh, when I don't feel comfortable, I just leave. Like, she left Kimosabi when she got mad.
Right.
She left.
Right.
She talked about exactly how she felt about things. Like, she got them without even starting an argument.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Oh, it was great.
She hit the nail on the head for sure. She hit on every point of what happened to her, and saying, see, Kyle, you crying about it now that it happened to you, but when it happened to me, you want to act like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. She got her. She trumped her in that moment.
Right. And Miss Diva, while she was grabbing for food, she was shading them right in that moment. She was grabbing
Yes,
for her.
she was.
Come on, I said, go ahead, Miss Kathy. Go do it. I said, go ahead, girl.
Yes, she did. Trisha, thank you so much for the super sticker. I'm sorry, Mel. Thank you, Trisha, for the super sticker. I truly appreciate it. Go ahead, Mel. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying she was eating and shading at the same time. I said, go ahead, Miss Kathy. Come on.
And if Kyle talks about Kathy's wardrobe one more time, I mean, come on, Kyle, like, let it go. That's not who your sister is. Your sister is not a label person. She likes, you know, casual, whatever her attire is. Let her be who she is. Don't try to make her out to be something she's not, just so you can feel comfortable with what she has on as your sister. You know, and I think that's so messy. Yes, go ahead, Mel.
I think too. I think that she did the same thing with Kim, if we remember. I think that when see, these girls are Kyle's friends, and when I realized that was when Kim said it, because Kim was always giving good nuggets. She said, "These ain't my friends; these are my sister's friends." So when she comes around, she's always shading her family, saying, "Oh, well, you know what? She's not dressed like Erika and all those other girls. She, you know, her sisters are very real compared to Kyle. They show up, and they like, I want my margarine, I want my food, I want my slippers." Kim and Kathy show up as real ladies. They don't show up with all the airs. They you know, they don't do that. And so Kyle's always trying to make them be fake, like the way Dorit and all of them get like. But I was gonna say this too. Kyle was yelling at Dorit like she was Michael Myers. It was just so extra. It was like I said, Miss Kyle, are you redoing your scene for Jamie Lee Curtis in the Halloween movie? Like, what are you doing? You're just going too much, too extra. She was screaming like she was in the Halloween movie in that moment. I said, oh gosh, what's going on?
Mel, you reminded me of something though when you said about the advertising with Bravo being a little shady. Because I remember, now that you said it, on New York, you know, Ramona was always promoting her Pinot Grigio. She'd walk in places with cases. She would have cases delivered to an event before she got there because she wanted her stuff out there.
Right.
And Skinny
smart,
Girl,
right?
Yeah, and the whole Skinny Girl thing with Bethany when she had that company, they were always having Skinny Girl events, and you see the bottles and everything everywhere.
So
Listen,
wait, guys. Mary said, "I hate that they all did not buy hats for $5.90. Kyle paid for travel and room. I was disappointed in Garcelle and Will's ex. They didn't buy anything. I don't have as much money. Put it on a card." Yeah, I thought it was messy. I didn't feel like they all got hats either, or they probably maybe just didn't show it. Kyle is always trying to embarrass Kathy. Kyle, to me, she could be a better sister. I don't think she's a good sister, and I don't think she even really wants her sisters on the show. I think, and how could you not? I don't know. I think it would be a really good thing or fun to work with your sister, but not for Kyle. And she wondered why her niece, Paris Hilton, doesn't like her. Exactly.
I think that
Yes, Summer. Go ahead, Mel.
No, I was gonna say I think that Kyle suffers the same thing that Teresa does in New Jersey. Like I like Teresa much better than I like Kyle, but I think that whenever they family come to they feel threatened. I also think that with Kyle, the biggest blow up she's had on the show has been with her family. It's always been with her family or people that she feel are like them. Like it was Lisa Vanderpump. She's like, "This is my sister." If you're that close to her, you will get backstabbed on the show one way or the other. Because the girls on the show can say whatever they want about her family and her relationships, but she will forgive them and show them civil respect. When it comes to her family or the people that she say are like family, she dogs them out, but she shades them all the time. She shades them 24/7. Now, Kathy in that moment was very funny and she was eating and shade at the same time. But I will say Kyle is shady a lot to Kathy. I mean, everything out of her mouth is an aggression. So, yeah, I think it gets tired. I think Kathy's like, damn, I'm listen, can I show up in one scene with your friends and not you sort of reference my clothing or how I look or how I act? I'm a grown woman with grandkids. Let me just show up here. Now, mind you, I'm a little leery of Kathy because I'm that trailer for last. Come on,
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I don't want to support Kathy too much because I don't want to be eating my words. So, but in this episode, I will say, Cal was a little much.
Right. Either way, Kyle is bad. Kyle is mean to her sister. Maybe there's another side we're not seeing. But Kyle is still messy to her own sister. Even when she got back to the house, she was like, "I haven't spoken to Kathy since Kimosabe," but she said, but she didn't even care about that. All she cared about was confronting Dorit. Right. And then you make up with Dorit in 2.2 seconds, but your own sister, you're like, "Oh, she's difficult." Dorit's not difficult. Erika's not difficult. So all of them are difficult, and they're not your sister, and you can make up with them, but you're not going to make up with your sister. Make that
look how many times, Diva, she went years without talking to her sisters.
That's right. Yep. That's right. That's right. You're exactly.
Yep. And she could, like, even before Lisa Vanderpump got thrown off the show, when they would, well, Kyle got her kicked off, but when they used to have their little tiffs, they would make right up and cry and be, "I love you, I love you, I love you." When you ain't talked to your sister Kim in almost 3 years, and you hadn't talked to Kathy either because they both cut her off.
That is true. So Brenda said Kyle is worse than Erika because she's fake. You know what? You're right. At least Erika is giving you to your face who she is, right? Manella's popping saying, "It makes me smile watching the rich people act like the commoners." We ain't too far removed. Low brow at its finest. Okay, so Dorit and Kyle make up because Mauricio steps in, and I get why Mauricio stepped in, right? It's like him and PK are really good friends. And how would this work if the husbands are really good friends and the wives are not speaking or they're fighting? So, of course, he had to fix it, and I'm glad that he stepped in. And then it was forgiveness, right then and there, because when they go and they have pizza later on, Kyle goes and speaks to Erika. And Erika still, you got to give this to Erika. Erika stays 10 toes down in her beliefs. She still told Kyle, "You know what? The victims are not my problems." I'm just paraphrasing it. At the end of the day, she's sticking to her story that the victims are not her problem. She also thinks that it was such a big win that they dismissed the case, even though we all know that that's not exactly what it meant, and that she got other cases that are still pending or whatever the case may be, but she felt victory over that dismissed case, right? And so at the end of that, her and Erika hug. And then later on, which was disgusting, they was in there joking about Erika's deplorable behavior the night before. So Kyle, you was crying all day about how messed up Erika was and how she was dead wrong and how she acted a fool and how you cannot stand by her because she doesn't even care about these victims. You went from all of that to your hug, kiss, made up, and now you're joking about what happened the night before. I thought that was a whole hot mess. Crystal, she tried to, speak up for herself, and I give it to Crystal, but Crystal is not quick on her feet. So the minute Erika threw something back at her, Crystal kind of gets muted. But I give Crystal, I give Crystal a little something for trying. I'll say that. She did try. And again, no one, and I understand why Sutton's not getting in it, because Sutton stood on her own all of those other times when she had to go up against Erika. So she said, tag y'all it. Y'all do this on your own. Yeah, I can't help y'all this time because I already took all my beatings over this whole situation with Erika. So I'm going to just sit back and let y'all handle it. Crystal tried, but she's not that girl to be able to handle it. You said who put Crystal up to that? Who put Crystal up to that knowing she could not handle it, okay? She couldn't handle that. So it was just so messed up. But Crystal did try, and I'll give her that for at least, trying, whatever the case may be. But she failed. It was an epic fail because when Erika knows that she can just come at you relentlessly, Erika's going to do it. Okay. And that's what Erika did. And then Garcelle made a very good point. I'm going to give this to her, right? It's like, so Erika and Kyle can speak and they can make up in 2.2 seconds, but the grudge against Sutton is a lifetime grudge. I didn't get that. Anybody have any comments?
I agree with you, Diva.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hon. You can go ahead.
No, I agree with you too, but I'm not gonna lie. In that moment when they were joking about the fight, I kind of laughed because it's like, I don't know if you ever had a fight with a friend. Like, you see two friends fight and then you watch them fight and you go back, girl, when you was fighting, you did this or you did that. I don't know. I kind of laugh because I've done that when see two friends fighting and then you just be like, girl, you said blah, 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 blah. And you're like, man, that's funny. So in that moment, I laugh. I do know that the fight was bad and it was kind of deplorable, but as just like looking from outside in, it was like a funny joke. I'm sorry.
I think it would have been funny if if what they were joking about wasn't so serious.
Exactly.
I think that what's going on with Erika, what she just totally doesn't get, is that this is a serious situation. There were victims. There were people that died. There were people that got burned. And Erika even said it herself. It's a lot of different cases. And maybe we're blending the cases and just putting all the victims in one basket. But regardless, all of that technical stuff doesn't matter either. What Erika needs to understand, I think the entire world will be on her side if she simply just said, listen, I didn't know, but guess what? I do realize that what my husband's law firm is being accused of, and he is a part of it, he was a partner in it, is horrific. And on that note, even though I don't feel like I should be wrapped up in this, I gave all of my stuff. I have nothing. Everything that I have now, I truly purchased with my own money. And if Erika were to do that, in my opinion, she would have won over everybody. Well, sometimes you can't win over everybody, but you know what I mean. She would have had a lot. The public opinion to me would be different. But the fact that she's getting on the TV, she's arrogant, she stands 10 toes down, and then to put those earrings in her ear, I think was absolutely disgusting. So, I thought it was disgusting.
You're right. You know what?
It's
I
arrogance.
Totally agree. So for me, sometimes I don't understand her thinking because she is a smart woman in one aspect. But then I brought up the blood diamond aspect earlier, where people have dilemmas about, where diamonds come from. And she should have the same dilemma about how her husband got the diamonds from, his alleged crimes. But also, I want to use my goddess, Miss Tina Turner. In that movie, she said, "Oh, I want to walk away from this relationship with only thing I want is my name." So because she understood how strong she was, that she was capable of making more, doing more. And I also think that with Erika, now she's no way compared to diva Miss Tina Turner. But yes, you are on a national television show. If you and one day took all your furs, all your shoes, everything, just gave every single thing you ever had, I'm sure you would not be going out in the streets naked. You'll be able to find some clothes, get more clothes, work hard, and then you'll be able to build up your collection again. Mind you, the girls in New York City, most of them don't even own their clothes. That was the read that they was having over there. They just sort of borrow it for the TV show. So you really don't have to own these things. You can actually borrow them just if you need to put on airs for television. So I think that for her to hold on to stuff that was gifts from her husband is where she's having these issues. She's not computing in her mind that these things do not belong to me. Let the judge, she said, let the judge tell me when to give it up. Well, how about let the judge let you know if it's yours? Let the judge decide for you. Miss Jane, these items are yours. But until then, give it all to them and let that be on their shoulders. So when people approach you, say, I don't have anything. I truly have nothing from that marriage. I have nothing from here. No real estate, no money, no jewels, no furs. Nothing. I gave it all to the courts. I'm letting them decide what I should have. So I think that she's doing that work.
Right. So Mary said, did you see how arrogant she was on Andy's show? She's arrogant, period. Oh, yeah. And you know what? Erika really showed us who she was from day one before we even knew where that money was truly coming from. She was always very smug, very arrogant, very nice, nasty. She showed that to us in the very beginning. And they say when someone shows you who they are, believe it. So I just thought, though, she got me a little bit in the beginning of this season because I was enjoying the fun, drunk, Erika. I really was. I thought, like, she had her funny moments or whatever. But again, she spun back around and she's showing me her true self. And I'm done with her. When you are just that tone deaf, that you would be so arrogant, who are you proving what to? You wearing the earrings? I just was like that. How messy is that even for TV? Like, how low can you go? And like I said, if they wouldn't have dragged her out of that house that night, she would have said so much more to piss everybody off big time. But she truly doesn't care because she was on Andy last night. And by the way, she looked really good. She was on Watch What Happened Live last night and she was super arrogant. It's just, you're not going to change who she is. Chris said Tina Turner had talent. Erika just knows how to strip and scam. Toria, did you want to add anything to the conversation?
I didn't think nothing that she did this year was funny because from the day the season started, I kept looking at her with still having the glam, still getting her hair fixed all up with the glam squad there, still having people dress her, and still, getting everything that these victims don't. I'm like, she's flaunting it. She was just flaunting it. I mean, if she would have been humble, like you said, and showed some type of compassion for the victims, and like I told you, he might not know nothing about nothing that he did, but I don't believe that. But she might not. But she should at least acknowledge what he done was wrong, and I'm going to do my part in helping the lawyers to make sure the victims get compensated, and then I can go on with my life and these lawsuits can be done with. She don't know. She's pissed a lot of lawyers and stuff off, and I keep telling people the FBI has a special unit that watches, not their job is specifically to watch the Housewives. And it all stems back to the fraud case with Teresa Giudice. And ever since then, they've been watching them Housewives, and they've been catching more and more housewives and their husbands for tax evasion. And they're going to come after Erika. She bragged and said, I know how much money me and my husband have in the because it's our money and I sign our taxes. She said that. She wrote it in her book. They're still going to get her. It's not done with her. And she's got another boyfriend that supposedly is paying all her legal fees. The one that she catches the private plane to go to Vegas and hops over there for a weekend and comes back. somebody's paying her legal fees. She still got money, and she told somebody that she was dating on the show. I can't remember when she said that, last week or the week before last, but she's got somebody. Trust me, Erika, she's gonna still have what she has when this is
But you
all
know
said
what?
and
Here's the
done.
thing, Toria. Let me say this. If she has somebody, then she's being extra foolish, right? If I had somebody that was able to pay my legal fees, and you know, legal fees is a lot of money, okay? If I had somebody that could pay my legal fees, and obviously that person has money, then they can buy me a new pair of earrings. They can buy me
Right.
some more shoes. They can buy me a pocketbook. So if I really had somebody that was able to do all that, that's even more the more reason for me to give up this stuff and say, here, y'all can have it. So at any way you look at it, she's stupid and silly and
And
ridiculous
evil,
and evil
evil.
and arrogant for doing what she is doing. It is no big deal. Brenda, I'm about to bring you up. It is no big deal. What is the skin off your back? Well, thank you, Jeannie. I appreciate that. Um,
I
did
could never,
wait, hold on one
I
second,
could,
Tori. Brenda, I think I hear a lot of background noise. I don't know what you have. Maybe you gotta shut off a browser or something in the background. You know, I just think it's very arrogant of her. Toria, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
um, you know, last night she was talking about, Andy said, are you going to be at BravoCon? She's like, yes. Me as a fan, which I would never pay that ridiculous price for them BravoCon tickets. That's why he keeps pushing them, because the sales is down really low this year because the price is too high. But I could not meet that woman. I couldn't. I could not look in her face. I don't care how much of a fan I am of the shows and stuff. I do not want to meet that lady. I couldn't look at her knowing how arrogant, and she don't care. That woman does not care about nobody but herself. Do you see how she easily dismissed them girls last night? She was like, none of them is my friend. She was like, if they're not kissing her hind part, she don't want nothing to do with them. She don't.
It,
And when the
it,
off season, she
she,
ain't even around them. The only one she wants something to do with is Diana, because
Diana
Diana
has
is
money.
the gateway to another rich man
Yep,
for Erica.
Diana has money. Diana has money. So let's just throw in this other scene real quick, which was shocking to me. It spoke volumes, even though they didn't show it to us. It was messy. But so the ladies, and not all of them, and I took it as, and maybe I read the room wrong. I took it as this club that Kyle was bringing them to. Only certain people could get into it. And my thing is, if only certain people could get into it, then why are you going there in the first place when you was just crying that at Kimosabi, you wanted everybody there, okay? Because you planned this for months. So now you're going to go to a private club that everybody can't get into. That just didn't make sense to me. That even Kathy Hilton, you was afraid, might not have been able to get into the particular club, right? Because of what she had on. Again, with the clothing, right? So anyway, they go to this club. Something goes down between Kyle and Kathy. I personally think that Kathy just never got over the fact of Kyle not supporting her. So I can see how maybe later on that night things blew up. Okay. So things blew up between Kyle and Kathy. The only one that kind of really knows what went down is probably Lisa. She knows the gist of it. But Lisa said the world thinks Kathy is someone that she's not. Okay. They said, you know, the world, she said, the world sees Kathy as a socialite, as a good mom, as a this, as a that. But that's not who Kathy is. Somebody said they didn't go. So you're thinking that I thought the what do you call it? The ride dropped them off at the club. Did I see that wrong?
Not all of them went,
Right,
but
not all of them went. Okay, so so Andre said some may have a deal with the private club, get them, buzz them in exchange for free membership. Yeah. Did Sutton go? I don't think Sutton went. I felt like it was Rinna, it was Kathy, and it was Kyle. They didn't really kind of show anybody else getting out and going, and it's like the rest of the ladies almost said like have fun, and it's like I thought the rest of the ladies went went home. Brenda, are you ready to come up?
We might as well we might as well we might as well skip right to the reunion, because I'm gonna tell you, Diva, we're not gonna see what happened next week. Whatever that whole blow up was, NBC and Universal's done nixed that. They done edited that so much because something happened bad and it would destroy the network and everything. So we're not going to see it next week. It's just going to be alluding to things, but we're not going to see what happened. We might as well just go right on to the reunion.
I think we're not going to see what happened. I'm not sure. Okay, somebody has to mute because it's like double. I'm hearing my feedback. Let me just hold on 1 second, guys. So I think something bad did happen, right? Because Kathy truly, she wrote a text to Lisa. She said, "Listen, I'm not going to say anything. Silence is golden." And I'm paraphrasing it. And she said, "I'm going to be silent." So Kathy, though, you wasn't silent when you was at the thing and you got mad that your tequila wasn't being promoted. So I took it as something really, really bad went down. Kathy does have a mouth on her. Not like Kathy, but Kathy got a mouth on her. And I think she probably did lose it on Kyle. Time will tell. Time will tell. Mel, what did you think about that?
When Kyle gets drunk, she says a lot of slick stuff out of her mouth. And Kyle mainly starts the mess when she's drunk. So I'm sure she started something with Kathy. Probably again with her clothing. Because remember when they was getting out the vehicle, she kept saying, "Oh, girl, your pants will be all right. They're not sweatpants," or whatever she was saying.
I think it was a little darker. That's just me guessing. I think it was a little darker.
Yeah, I know. I think it was dark too. I think it really went back to the days of Mauricio doing something to Rick Hilton, with the money and all that. I believe it got really hectic in that club. And Rinna knows, and Rinna even got into it with Kathy too, because remember they were beefing back and forth online for a while, and Andy kept telling her, knock it off, and told her, "You're dangerous on the internet. You are dangerous." And now that's why everything's gone off of Lisa Rinna's thing. There is no signs of her ever being a housewife. I think Lisa's gone. I think she's done.
She probably is. Brenda, you're in the building. What did you want to add to the conversation?
I wanted to say that I think that Lisa Rinna, hey Diva, I love you. I do. I'm so glad to be here tonight. Oh my God. But I really think that Lisa and Kyle are closer than what you think. I think that Kyle tells Lisa her sister secrets, and Lisa gets out there and she puts all this stuff out there. And I think she was antagonizing Kathy. And I just feel like those two are the fakest ones on the show, period. And I just want to see some fresh faces. I like Crystal. I feel like Crystal is a little more craftier than what people think. I think that she egged Erika on because she kept saying, "All I can think about is the victims." And so she was just like, and Erika was just getting angrier and angrier. And it was just like, she was just wanting everybody to see her for who she was. And I just was like, okay, good. They're strategizing better because, yeah, that's all I think I have to say for that for right now. But hey, everybody, I love y'all.
Thank you. Mel, what did you want to add to that scene?
Well, I think that again, I'm hoping that we do see something next week. I hope that we get some clarification, because it's been a whole, couple of months of this sort of crazy rumor that, something insane happened in a club, some insane language was used. So even though I enjoyed Kathy last year, that's why every time I call into a show, I say I'm reserving my opinion about Kathy until next week episode, the week after. I need to see the receipts. I need to know if she's as insane or, as, excuse my language, as bigoted as Lisa Rinna says she is, allegedly. So that's what I'm nervous. I'm nervous to see what's going to happen, because either Kathy Hilton is what Lisa Rinna said she is, or either Lisa Rinna is the lowest of the low, to use something about race or something just to malign somebody's character. So either way, one of these ladies are totally dangerous. So I'm definitely looking to see.
Well, we already know Lisa Rinna is dangerous,
but this is
right?
like next level. It's like, whoa. But again,
right.
I'm reserving my judgment, because either, you know what I think, either way, we're gonna learn one way or the other who's the most dangerous out of the two. We're gonna learn.
Right. That. Right. But I like I said, the only thing that has me leaning towards Kathy has something she doesn't want to come out, because she says silence is golden. And she said, I'm not going to say a word. And that was her code to let Lisa know. And of all people, she should know that Lisa ain't going to be quiet. To let Lisa know, like, you need to, be quiet also. And the fact that we now know at the reunion, they didn't take the cast picture that like they usually do. And Andy said he didn't push it, because that's how epic this reunion is. It's going to go down at the reunion. He said, I did not push the cast picture because he knew that it probably wasn't going to happen. And Erika said this is the first time ever that they left and nobody spoke to nobody.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a thing. So common sense, I heard that too, right? I think Sherelle spoke about it, that Kimora Lee Simmons is supposed to join this show next season. We'll see. The thing is, if Kimora, because we was waiting for Cherie, we thought we was going to get something from her. We got nothing.
Nothing.
Right. So, but I do think Kimora is that girl. She's here for the shenanigans. So maybe if she joins, we'll get a little something. I don't know. You heard that Kathy went off on Rinna. I can believe that, because she was pissed at Rinna. It's like, and to me, that is a slap in the face, right? I get it that you may have some other friends that got some tequila, but I'm here on this show with you. I'm trying to promote my line. Work with me. That's all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but how would Rinna like this if Kathy would have said, "Listen, let me get some Revlon. I'm gonna get some Revlon right now."
Exactly what I was gonna say, Mel. Exactly, right? Especially if Rinna product was in the store. How would she feel?
That's right.
Yeah, I know that's right. You forgot Cherie was on the show, because she doesn't say anything. She doesn't step in.
The only thing she said tonight was that she was constipated, and I was like, "Wait, how in 2002 can anybody, with all the supplements and enzymes as rich as she is, you mean tell me you don't know how to get into the health food store and get what you need?" So she said that she didn't use the restroom. That's all she contributed to the episode, was that she let the girls know she couldn't go to the bathroom. I said, "Oh my goodness, this is crazy."
Yep. You know what, Cheryl? Erika will meet her match with Kimora, but see, what I noticed with Erika is when somebody really go toe-to-toe with her, she backs down. She backed down a little bit off of Garcelle, because now she know that Garcelle ain't going to play that game with her, that Garcelle is going to talk back. So she before she would just run her mouth at Garcelle, but now Garcelle, she come back at her, so she backed down a little bit, because the way that she talked to Garcelle is not the same way that she spoke to Crystal. Crystal is right. Crystal is like, I said the same thing and you lost it on me. But now she said Garcelle said it and you didn't really get with her like that. So yeah, she knows what she's doing and who she's talking to when she's talking to them. She's not that stupid. But go ahead. Did anybody else, Toria, did you have something to say?
Kyle is going to bat for Melanie Griffin to be on the show. And I do not think she's a good fit at all. Do you know who she is? No, Melanie Griffin. Do you know who she is? She used to be married to the guy that was on Miami Vice, the white guy.
Oh, I do know who she is. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What they saying that she's supposed to be coming to the show?
That's what a few other, the ones that always stick up Andy's butt says. They're saying that her and Kyle is like really good friends with that other lady that used to be involved with OJ's wife, who I can't stand her either. That they're supposed to be so close, Kyle and Melanie Griffin, and she wants her to come on the show. She's trying to convince her to come on the show. But I don't think Kyle wants Kimora Lee because she definitely would give Kyle a run for her money. Because I watched every reality show she ever had. Because I loved her for a long time until I got more older and understood some of the conniving things she did as far as her choices with men. But Kimora, I think she'd be a good fit. But we're gonna have to see who's coming back next year because I think it's gonna be a big shakeup because they don't got the same production company that's gonna be doing that show. So we're gonna have to see who's
You know what?
leaving.
Here's the thing. It's not what they got to understand, though. It's not just about a shakeup, right? I think the reason, I think maybe Mel, you and I were kind of talking about this behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why Potomac works is because it's a lot of still original people, and because these people are really have become friends. And then when they fight, it's very authentic, right? And that's what you get from it. And then to what's the other show? Married to Medicine. If they're not all part of the original class, we got a lot of people that been together long enough
Yeah.
that they got a history. And that's why we get a little more different, realness, and it's real fights. And I think they're giving us real authentic stuff.
And can I
So,
add?
Oh yeah, because the
go ahead,
Golden Girls,
Mel.
they're not filming now. Married to Medicine, they're not filming now. And the Golden Girls, they had a whole thing the other day. They were out and it was on Dr. Heavenly Live. Simone and Dr. Jackie and her was all out in the stores and stuff doing
No,
things together.
I've seen that, but all I'm saying is my point is that
They're
those
friends.
they're friends. Like those shows, we get what we get
Yeah.
because they're truly friends. Go ahead, Mel. What was you gonna add?
No, I was gonna say you're right. We were talking about that. And I was gonna say yeah. So Potomac is so successful because most of those women over there commit to the show. They commit their time. They commit their energy. They show up. They have had relationships before the show started. So that's why when we watch that show, it feels like a warm glove. The only person who's actually new, relatively, but she's been there since season 2 or whatever is my girl, Miss Candace. She's been there a long time too. Everybody else has been there since day one. I want to point
Right.
at New Jersey. New Jersey has had a lot of problems, but they have been killing these past couple of years because most of the cast is in some way related to Teresa or friendship with Teresa for over 20 years. The only person who, again, my girl over there is Jennifer, and she's made a good connection. So I think that what Beverly Hills is not doing is what they've done, which has failed in New York years ago, was that they have a group of girls who basically are women who are basically friends with Kyle. And everything that they do, they never change, they never grow. So as a viewer, I don't want to see them stay the same place they've been for 3 years. It's 3 years of the
Exactly, Mel.
same energy. They did that in New York City with Ramona and Jill was battling with their girls. They both had sides. And basically, Bravo said, you know what, Jill, you and Kelly and everybody, I got to go because now we're gonna bring in Karen and other stuff to shake it up. So I think that in Beverly Hills, we keep Kyle, we keep Garcelle, we keep Sutton, but now we're going to change some other things because we can't have a whole group of people sitting here all the time saying, I don't see anything. There's nothing wrong. There's no issues. No, we got to, there's no more of that. It's becoming very boring. As a viewer, the argument that they consistently have, they have the same argument and it never changes. I'm like, okay,
It
enough.
never changes. It
Enough.
never changes. And I think if they bring Kimora, then Cherie got to go. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
she gave us nothing.
nothing.
She gave us nothing. And I don't think another season is going to change, what she gives us. Because I almost feel like she feels that she doesn't even belong in the building. And if she's feeling that way, what is going to change? So I don't know if she's worth it. But it was a good episode. It was shocking to me towards the end, what went on or didn't go on in this club that we couldn't go in. And I get it. Somebody said in the chat that they probably somebody said she be who in the chat, yeah, she looks very uncomfortable. She's not fitting in. She didn't find her way, right? And I'm feeling like that you are correct. They probably couldn't bring the cameras in the club. And I think they probably taped the aftermath, but they cut it out because they don't want us to see Kathy in a bad life. But if you want to show everybody else's stuff, because remember, they said, I'm gonna say, remember when Kyle and Kim had that fight in the limo? That was the first season when they was on together. Kyle and Kim begged the production team not to show that fight, and they showed it anyway. Well, keep up that same energy. Show us what happened between Kathy. It's only fair. If anything did happen, but don't leave us guessing. But I do believe this, whatever did or didn't happen, we're going to hear about it at the reunion, because they said the reunion is just absolutely nasty. And I do believe that it is a 3-part reunion. So before we close out this live, and thank you guys for coming through with me, I want to mention this. I think now the thing that is going on with Nick Cannon is borderline ridiculous. I truly don't understand the ladies that are having his baby. Juanita, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I really would like to know what happened to Kathy with Kathy's meltdown. You and I both, okay? Don't hide it from us. Don't do that, because it's not right. Okay.
What happened, Diva, with Nick?
Yes.
I didn't hear it. What
Nick
happened?
had his ninth baby with a girl. Well, I'm saying a girl. The woman is 40 years old. She's beautiful, because he has his type. So that means he's gonna have 11 kids, because it's 2 other women that are waiting to have his baby. The one that is her name is Brittany Bell, and the other one that had his twins, she's pregnant too. So this was a girl we didn't even hear about, right? So the girl she's a model from The Price is Right, and she never hid her pregnancy, but she didn't say that, Nick Cannon was the father of her baby. He just announced it today because she had the baby girl. And he also made a statement like, please don't come at my children's mothers. If you have something to say it about me. And so listen, he's protective of the mother of his children. That's fine. That's great. But I still truly just don't understand, what are these ladies thinking? Like,
why ain't none of them making him wear protection? They all must want to have the baby, Diva. They must want to. Because that's the only thing I can think. They think they're going to get some money from him or something. I'm sorry. I'm not having no child with no star for the money. No.
Yeah, Pamela said, at this point, Nick is just farming women for bone marrow, and you can't tell me anything different, shaking my head. 11 kids. Here's the thing too. If this was anybody else, people would be in an uproar. It would be outrage. I don't get it. I don't understand it. The mother would go ahead, Mel.
No,
I'm sorry.
You said something about the mother. I didn't. This is new to me. So you said the mother.
Yeah, no, the mother that had the twins, she did an interview with somebody, and she said, listen, although she said, I'm a good mother, and I'm sure you are, right? She said, but Nick, she said, there are a lot of families where, the husbands don't even help with the kids, and they living in the house. She wants to throw out all of that, right? Mm-hmm. And she said that Nick has made it to every one of the kids, whatever the kid was, some sensory class or something like that. And she said, I don't know too many husbands or whatever that can do that. Girl, it's not just about making it to a class. It's about having that husband in the home, and your children growing up, being able to see, the relationship between mommy and daddy, and being in the home, and so forth and so on. And she said, when her kids grow up, she just wants them to know that mommy and daddy did it their way. Okay.
Wow. So you said, for me, where is Iyanla Fix My Life when we need her? Because I remember years ago, there was this show where she had a father on there. His name was Jay. He had 34 kids. He had 34.
I saw that.
Remember?
Me
and
too.
She was sitting up there trying to help him. And she, at some point, because she basically was saying he had to use protection at one point. It was like he was just having too many kids, and he wasn't there. There's a difference between being a father and a man. That your kid's like, who is that person? Oh, he's just a friend. Right. He's just a friend of the family. He's not even your father, because he shows up every couple of months or every couple of years. So I think that, I think that I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know, something's off, but he's about to get up there with Mr. J from Fix My Life, where that man had 34 kids with all those women.
It's shocking to me. And this woman, you know what? She's 40, and I'm like, you waited all, and she has no other children, right? You waited all of this time, and this is how you want to do this with your first child, like on purpose, is with somebody who is just something is just not right, in my opinion. It just can't be. Nick is selfish because he has an illness and his kids could carry that illness. It's sad. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's like you can't physically be there right there. He can't physically be there for all of those children. It's not about money. Yes, everything is not about money. So it's just crazy. And actually, to be honest with you, many psychiatrists have said this. The kids will remember the love before they remember any lavish birthday party, any lavish gift. They're going to remember you being there for the baseball game, the basketball game, the this, the that, the other. Nick cannot possibly physically be everywhere for each and every one of these 11 kids. It's just too much. At some point, to me, the only way he could possibly maybe even do it is if, all the kids are at the same event at the same time. It's just ridiculous. It's just so incredibly sad, and I just can't even imagine. And then, the last thing before I close out, I'm going to mention this. That whole Tim Norman, I don't know if any of y'all ever watched Sweetie Pies. That was one of my favorite. And when I say favorite reality shows, because it was a fun show. They had some things going on that show, but it was a fun show. And I was just thinking about this Tim Norman. And I said, you know what? I said to myself, sometimes I think, could he have just been a bad seed? I mean, I don't even know what to say about him anymore. I think, and Miss Robbie as a mom, I get it. You want to stand by your children, but I think you can stand by your child and still acknowledge that your child has perhaps done something wrong. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So here you are, you have your son that is accused of taking the life of his own nephew. I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that allegedly he was not going to stop with him. I mean, some of the reports or the stories was that, if he would have got away with that, who else would have been his target? I mean, Miss Robbie allegedly could have been. He really is very sick. Now, on the show, it's so crazy and creepy because I used to watch that show all the time. I actually wanted to go to that restaurant because I love Miss Robbie. As I said earlier, I love Tina Turner. So I knew Miss Robbie, her story. And I think that also maybe Tim's father, if I know the history correct, I don't think the father was pretty, very friendly man. Because I think he was torturing Miss Robbie at one point. I don't think they had a very, loving relationship. I think there was some abuse there too. So, I think maybe the apple don't fall far from the tree. And but with Miss Robbie, I feel this way. She's a woman of a certain age, and she's trying to hold on as long as she can to be as healthy. And I think that it might be devastating to actually, sometimes something, but until you really put in your heart and say, this is the fact, maybe she takes into her heart, that would be detrimental to her health. Maybe at some point she got to think, this is all an assumption. I can't, I can't believe my son will take, because they have already had separate issues in their family where people have died of violence from guns and their family, people have died. So that might be devastating for her to really take to her soul. She may hear about it on a mental level, but to take it on the soul level, and I don't know if she's ready to do that. Maybe that's what the difficulty maybe with her.
Well, you know what, Mel? I've been following some of the people that have in-depth knowledge about the trial because they got the transcripts and they really been digging and going into it. Like I don't have that type of time, so I listen to them. But but Tim and his lawyers was trying to get not let it be admissible in court text messages that Andre gave to his own grandmother, which is Miss Robbie, which is Tim's mom, where he clearly said that he was afraid of Tim. That and I'm paraphrasing, and that he really thought that Tim was trying to do something to him. And then Andre's mom, according to the transcripts of what another blogger was reading, Andre's mom and Ms. Robbie had a conversation, and Ms. Robbie said to Andre's mom, and they was trying not to have this be in court, that she think Tim might have done something to Andre. So she's not clearly she knows that there's a possibility that everything that what is being said that he did it. And trust me, I probably would fall out. I have one son, right? I only have one son. I probably would fall out if this will remotely be something that my son did. But at some point I would beg God, like, you know what? let me acknowledge it. Let me wrap my mind around it. I can still support him. It's similar to what we're trying to say about Erika, right? Just because you have empathy and you show compassion towards these victims, it doesn't mean that you are responsible and you did it.
Right.
So just like, so Miss Robbie can say, you know what? It's a possibility that my son might have done this. I still feel for Andre, my grandson. I still feel for his mother. But I am going to support my son because he is my son. So I'm going to give this money for his lawyer. I'm going to go see him. I'm going to write him. I'm going to speak to him because it's my son.
That's
but
true.
that doesn't mean that I don't care about what happened to my grandson.
Right.
And that I don't care about his mother. So
Amen.
people need to understand that you can do both of them at the same time.
You know
and
what?
People, right? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, have you ever watched? I've watched many different documentaries where people have had conversations with the people who were responsible for Columbine, who were responsible for Bar-Mitzvahs, and the parents truly did not know that their children was going to be doing this. So, at one hand, they say, you know what? Like you were saying, I love my son or my daughter, whatever they done, but I do not love what they done. I do not like this, and I'm going to make sure that they are held responsible. We're going to go down whatever legal road we got to go down, and I'm going to love them in that process of them accepting the punishment, the consequences for what they've done. That being said, I feel totally sorry for anybody that my child has hurt or done something to. So you're right. So I've seen many parents deal with this sort of thing. They totally in shock, but the first thing they do is they love their son or their daughter for who they are, because they love them to the day they die, but they don't love their actions, and they definitely have a lot of sympathy for the people that their children have destroyed in some way. So I've watched those documentaries. They were tough to watch, but it was really powerful to see people be able to love their family, but not like what they've done. They say, I don't like what they've done at all. I'm disgusted by what they've done. So yeah, it's true.
But they're still my family. Now, hold on, Sin. I'm gonna back up for a minute. You said Nick needs Dr. Francis, and she's talking about Dr. Francis from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Well, I didn't get to do my recap on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and it was okay Sunday, but I gave Dr. Francis the side eye. And I gave Dr. Francis the side eye because I felt like, and listen, Tiffany and Louis are not my favorite couple, but I felt like he was ganging up on Tiffany and Louis, all to help Tisa and what's her name, Kimmy and them out for what Tiffany and Louis did their first season on the show. And listen, I am going to be recapping Love and Marriage Huntsville because my heart, I don't think they announced yet exactly what Kimmy's condition is, but you know what, prayers up for Kimmy, because I do know she's going through something. I believe I know what it is, but I don't know if she said it yet, and I don't want to misspeak. But I do know she's going through something, and I guess eventually she's going to tell us. And I thought the verdict for Tim was going to come down today, but I guess it didn't. But I think he's going down. So Lisa B says, Diva, I'm originally from St. Louis, and it was rumored that Tim had something to do with the breaking in the house, allegedly. Yes, thank you for that, allegedly. Listen, when I watched the show, Miss Bobby said with that break-in, she knew this. She knew it was somebody that knew her. She said that from the moment she heard about the break-in, right? She said it had to be somebody that knew me, had to know that I was out of town, and had to know that she kept that money in her house because the way that everything happened. So she knew that was somebody that knew her. I really think, again, that Miss Robbie probably in the back of her mind knew it was her. Well, I can't say knew. Thought it could perhaps be the child, the person she gave birth to. But again, can you imagine as a mom, you get robbed, this person that you love, and then it's her only living child, right? And that's the person who could have perhaps robbed you. I don't know, like, how do you sleep on that? How do you function with that? I don't know. So Sin, you went to St. Louis just to eat at the Upper Crust? Yeah. How was it? Was it good? So listen, guys, thank you for coming through. Okay. That darn Roa reunion was boring. I hope part 2 gives us a little something, but I don't know what it can really give us when the season didn't give us much, but I'll be watching it. I'm going to continue this through to the end. I'm going to continue, of course, with my Married to Medicine recap. I will fold back in my Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, and definitely, you know, we got to stick with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So as we close out, Mel, what are your final thoughts?
Well, I guess for me, my final thoughts is I can't wait to see what happens in that club. I'm really nervous. I'm just like I need. This is what I've been waiting for the whole season. To be honest with you, I've been waiting for Aspen. I've been waiting for this big controversial moment. So I'm excited about next week. I hope they don't trick me. I hope they give me what I want at the beginning of the episode. They don't wait till next week sometime or 2 weeks, whatever. I need to know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. So do I. You know what, Tugga? I forgot about that. Yes, they made Andre take a lie detector test and he passed. I forgot all about that. How can you imagine? Your own grandmother is thinking that you're not telling the truth and you got to take a lie detector test. They sure did. I don't know. Do you remember that, Mel?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that family. Now to think about what the chat's saying, that family does have some. You know, Miss Robbie, I like her, I really do. But yeah, there's some definitely. She's made some errors. She's made some errors.
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
And that's a nice way to say it. That's a nice way to say it, Mel. I like that. Toria, that's a very nice way to say it. Toria, what are your final thoughts?
I just really don't think we're gonna see anything or hear anything. Just want to skip to the reunion because I think next week a lot of people's gonna be disappointed.
Yes, I do too. Hey, Gabor, and I listen, Gabor. I peeked in of your show earlier. That's okay. We still, Gabor, we still love you. And listen, did I like see? You know what, Mel? Do you see what Gabor wrote? He's messy. Do you see this? Do you see this, Mel?
Yeah, I see it right there. Oh my
He
goodness.
sure been hungry a lot lately. Every time I see Gabor, he talking about he gotta go to eat.
Cause when he goes to the gym, because when he goes to the gym, he has to, he has his schedule on when he eats. But Gabor, you are messy. Did I like the earrings? No, Gabor, your girl is a hot mess. And you already told us that you would have kept them earrings too. And your girl is messy. She was dead wrong. And don't come in here late. Yeah, thank you, Tucker. Gabor is messy. Messy.
Gabor said, I'm not gonna be broke. Ain't that what he said? I'm not gonna be broke for nobody. That's what he always say about Erika.
Oh my God. He's messy, but no, Gabor, I did not like the earrings. Give them earrings back to the victims so that they can cash them in and get some money back. Get out of here. Did I like them earrings? No, I did not.
He's so funny. Good night, Mel. Good night, Diva.
Yes, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Somebody say Gabor is real. But listen, guys, thank you so much. I had fun with y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Don't forget to like the video. Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.